Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer. I am really concerned about all these vampires. I'm starting to think maybe we should intercede. So Everheim's a walled city. We should talk about this a little bit. Everheim is walled, and that means that the enemies will tend to want to just run up to it and siege it for a while. They're currently laying siege. They're building rams and siege towers and stuff. But
darkness calls.
What do they have here? 14, 20, and another 10. So they have 44 units to Everheim's 8, but Everheim does have some defenses, and it also has rocket batteries, which are pretty good. These are pretty strong against masses of weak infantry troops. So like an army made entirely of zombies, like they're seeing here, will get totally torn up by those. But so the AI, when it's attacking walled settlements, will tend not to actually launch the attack until they have a significant, overwhelming advantage. Which means we may have a turn or two before Everheim goes down, which means maybe we have time to do something. I guess it's true that Karl Franz's army is pretty torn up right now. The Grand Theogenist's army is not quite full. It's pretty powerful, even so. If Gelt was in better condition and was closer, we might be able to just go after these guys. We have to kill them before we can win the game, right? Yeah, the vampire counts have to be dead. Whew, boy, there are very few check marks on this list. And these things are only checked off because they haven't been spawned yet. We are very, very far from a victory. Alright. Let's see what happens here. If the vampires give us a couple of turns, we could replenish our armies and push in. And if we can do that while Averland's still alive, we'll be able to use Averland to back us up, making the vampires a little bit more reticent to counterattack. And we might even be able to convince Averland to join us afterward, what with us having saved their life and everything. Okay, we can't make it into a city unless we march. Unfortunately, we can't start recruiting new units this turn because we marched. But we can start putting things back together in the very near future here. So let's go to Fildorf. We'll finish replenishing in Fildorf. Man. Well, one of his armies actually backed up. So they have some Grave Guard, which are pretty solid anti-infantry units. But a lot of their units are pretty bad. Vargeists are cool, Crypt Horrors are cool. Vampires, though. Vampires can be very dangerous. I guess they got 2 levels, or they got 3 levels between the two of them, so maybe not so bad. Gorst himself, in my impression of Gorst is that he's not actually terribly great as far as legendary lords go. But if we put ourselves into direct conflict with the vampires, we're going to have to deal with all of these armies in the very near future. Oh, and he has a 5th stack over here? Man, these guys are really powerful. It's going to be worse if we let them have Everheim. Well, alright. As it stands right now, I think we literally can't stop them. But that won't be true for too long. So let's hang out over here, and we did a normal move, so we have access to local recruitment. Yeah, what the hell? We'll get a mortar. What we really need to do, though, is rebuild this army for us to be a threat. We don't have a ton of money to play with, and what I really want to build is the Magic College. We might want to bring the Castellan engineer back over here when it's time to do this. How are we doing? Actually, how are we doing on public order? Going up, and basically fine. Okay. I don't know. We may have to let the vampires go for now. I'm not sure that we can take them.
Approach and make your offer, but I make no promises to my assent.
trade agreement actually makes it more likely this will work. Alright, finally. We are finally in good with Nordland. It's a start. Yeah, the treaties. You can see we're already getting 30 reputation just from those 2 treaties. So what was our quest? We have to get to a defensive alliance or better with them? Yeah, defensive or military. Okay. Okay, doable. Absolutely doable. Also, it's worth noting that at this point, trade is worth quite a bit to us. We actually should probably check real quick. Who else could we have trade with?
Come then. Only Sigmar's god Ulrich can judge it worthy or no.
So we could just take Everland over. They're willing to confederate with us so that they're not devoured by vampires. And taking Everland in this way would cause the vampires to not be able to take it. Yeah, I'm going to do this. We'll just take Everland this way. This keeps the vampires from getting a hold of it. We're going to end up fighting these guys sooner or later, but for now we can hold off. I don't actually want Marius Leitdorf leading an army right now. His skills are not super crazy. He doesn't really have anything cool. He has a grave robber, +3 leadership when fighting undead. That's important. But I think what I'm going to do actually is have him run over here, and I'm going to dump off his units into Volkmar's army and then disband him. Okay, Rickard Seidau can, for the moment, join up over here. And down here, our witch hunters should probably try to kill somebody.
Everything dies.
Tremble, mortal.
Alright, the leader of this army is higher level and thus probably more important to the army. We could also just try to kill a necromancer or something. Man, our assassination chances are still pretty bad. I'm going to block his army instead. Damn it. Successful actions give you more XP, is really all I was thinking there. Let's try and do something we have a better chance of pulling off so that we can get some more XP. Some more assassination chance. Assassination chance does also just scale with level a little bit, it seems like, so as we continue to get XP for him, he'll get better at it. Alright, in one turn we finally have leveled up Altdorf, and our money situation will fix itself a small amount when we merge these 2 armies.
Orders.
Alright, well we really don't have time to fight Todbringer now. Yes, absolutely. I love military access. I also love 200 money. This is a win-win. So Stirland's gonna have to be defended now too. But we kept the vampires from taking another capital. That's important. Ooh, a defensive alliance with a dwarf lord is potentially dangerous. I do like it in terms of keeping the vampires off of us for the moment. They'll be a little bit less likely to attack us, but if we take this, the vampires will be less likely to declare war on us, but we're more likely to end up back at war with the elves, because elves and dwarves just declare war on each other constantly. It will, however, probably improve our relations with the other dwarf tribes nearby. I'm going to take it. I don't think it's a good idea to take a military alliance with the AI under almost any circumstances, but defensive alliances can be fine. Speaking of alliances with the AI, let's just take a quick look at everybody nearby.
Of chivalry demand I hear you.
They actually don't like that we have treaties with Bretonnia. I guess Bretonnia and Bordelot are not getting along real well. Stirland is at war with the vampire counts and will soon fall to them. And unfortunately, we can't take advantage of Stirland being effectively forced into confederation because you can only confederate one faction every so many turns.
Do not waste my time with petty talk. Make your own.
I'd really love to unite the Empire men against all the terrifying vampire monsters. Nobody seems interested in it, though.
You come in peace on this fine Marktag?
Oh, right, we have a temporary confederation penalty to our approval. Right. Well,
Ready. Are you?
nothing we can really do about that, unfortunately.
Sigmar compels us.
Okay, let's just hand over all this stuff. And then disband this army.
Defender of the faith.
Okay, suddenly we have a great big stack. I do like Hellstorm rocket batteries, but I wonder if we maybe have too much artillery. Alright, and the Confederation penalty of -8 public order everywhere is maybe going to be a big deal, actually. Well, we have pretty positive public order in most places. We'll be fine, I guess. It's more of a problem in Altdorf than anywhere else. So the two things I wanted to build in Altdorf right now are a gunsmith and the College of Magic. The gunsmith's only 5,000. We've got to get our income up again. I suppose this is a way to do that. It's a very expensive way to do it, though. Man. Alright, I think as a temporary measure, this is necessary. It's not really what I want to be using that building slot for, but...
Is it time?
Okay.
Show me the accused.
We don't have lightning strike on any of our armies. So we can't attack these guys very safely.
Now.
How close is anybody to lightning strike? He's 2 skill points off. No. 3, because he has to spend 1 more point in this group. So I guess the answer is nobody. Nobody is anywhere close.
Blessings of Sigmar upon you.
That is a real shame. We're going to have to mass up to defend then. He has 5 huge stacks. How can he afford all these guys?
They will be judged.
Spread the rot.
Tools of judgment ready.
Okay, he's starting to get pretty good assassination chances. Let's go for a kill. Ah. It would be cool if we could knock a couple of heroes out of that army. The vampire armies really live and die by their heroes. Vampires are super powerful.
Yes.
And now that you have been in here for a turn, we could start recruiting, except that I can't really afford to run any more units than I'm already running. How's Marienburg doing on population? Okay, we're still really far off. I would like Marienburg to get upgraded again. That would be really nice. Minus 10% artillery upkeep on all forces seems pretty good. We should definitely try to build the Nuln Gunnery School.
Do not waste my potential.
Well, if we're going to think about taking on these vampires,
Grant me strength.
somebody at the very least needs to get to Everheim.
The righteous hammer of Sigmar.
Oh. Weird, you got a trait just for going to the city. And right now, the fact that we have so many armies parked in cities in Vistland is the only reason the public order is holding together at all.
I see no other option.
I don't think we're going to be able to stop them from taking Wurtbad. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I do not think that we are going to have time to fight Todbringer. He's just going to have to, you know, join up and hang out.
There's the Karazak.
A defensive alliance with another dwarf kingdom. You guys are currently at war with Bordelot. Well, I mean, we're friends with the enemies of Bordelot all over the place, frankly. Yeah. Alright. We're taking on dwarf allies. That may cause problems with the wood elves, because the wood elves and the dwarves traditionally do not get along very well. And it may cause other problems too. Jesus. Alright, what's an army that isn't on guard? His army's not on guard. Let's try to kill... I'm kind of surprised his army's not on guard. Didn't we just fail to... Oh, the individual heroes go on guard when you fail to assassinate them. The army only goes on guard if you fail an army action, I guess. Okay, let's see if we can kill Kemler.
I'll ignore that.
Damn it. We're having some unfortunate luck here. Okay, we probably want to make sure that we pick up his battle prayers. That's not inconsiderable either. 34 extra melee attack for 36 out of every 90 seconds.
Volkmar the Grim.
The vampires are doing the right thing, though. There's no way we can attack them while they're traveling that deep. So do I want to hold out and try to build one of my important buildings here, or... do I want to just abandon that, use the money to hire troops, and try to put an earlier end to the vampire push? We could maybe declare war and come in behind them, do some damage to their settlements, because they do really have all of their forces focused out here. So my only concern is they're not that far from our actual valuable stuff, and we can't defend it. If we declared war on them and they decided to take all 4 of these armies and just march to Grunberg, what would I do? Grunberg has a 15-unit garrison, but these stacks will definitely be able to take it down. And without a lightning strike force to pick off 1 or 2 of their armies at a time, I don't know how we would stop them.
As is my right by Sigmar's crown.
Alright, we'll keep moving up to the north. I think we can probably move Gelt up to here. Try to distribute our military force so that we can hold public order together a little bit better. And being Castellan engineer means that he is lowering... It's the whole province, right? No, it's just the local region that construction costs are lowered in. That's interesting. Well, we should probably fill up these offices, huh? We should definitely have a spy master. That could be Volkmar. You know what? I think we're going to move Gelt up to Patriarch. He could use the extra winds of power. So Gelt goes up to Patriarch. We'll assign a new Castellan engineer, although I don't know that that's super important right this second. I don't think we need an Archlector right now, but we do need a Spy Master pretty badly. Let's have that be Leitdorf, because he's not going to be out on the table anyway, so we don't want to give him something that's position dependent. And then Volkmar can be the new Castellan engineer. Okay, so just doing this gives us 5% extra hero success chance. I should definitely have done this before attempting to kill somebody. We would have been at 50%. Alright, I think the right play is to hold out for the improvements to Altdorf. We just can't fight the vampires. Like, there's no way for us to be able to do that. Can't get enough troops together. And we don't have the strategic tools that we need to break up their armies. I'm spending a lot of money on assassination attempts. I'm basically buying XP for the Witch Hunter. It's not totally ideal. Our countrymen are in peril. Yeah, no kidding. So if we are victorious, Ostland would like us to defeat any of their enemies. I really don't have time for this.
The nation calls.
So I would really like to break up this siege. Oscar Stahlberg. Let's see if we can hit one of the vampires from Helmengorst's army. Let's go for the easier one.
You are judged.
Boy, He just cannot figure it out. He's about to gain 7% extra assassination chance. Hopefully that will be good enough. Also, we need a new tech. Public order +2 in all factions is pretty important, or in all provinces is pretty important. Hero action cost down, leadership up for lords and heroes. This might be something to consider. We're gonna start getting vampiric corruption creeping over our borders in a pretty serious way. We might want to pick this up now. We don't have a lot of fancy units yet. Recruitment capacity would be more valuable if we had more money. Unfortunately, not a lot of these are about money. +10 armor for most of our infantry. That's actually a pretty big deal. Yeah, let's do that. Something tells me we're going to be doing a lot of sustained fighting relatively soon. Okay, so when our Confederation penalty wears off, we're going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 with these guys. We might be able to get that quest going. So we need to get Gelt's army put back together so that we can fight these quest battles. We also need to recruit a battle wizard. Well, that's in sort of the distant future. But I wonder if Karl Franz should just pass off some units to Gelt, and then we can have Gelt's army fight that quest battle. Probably ought to do that. This isn't even the reward battle, but the 3,000 gold would be really helpful. Mostly it's a bunch of bad orc units.
Ready.
I am the supreme patriarch.
So the Sunmaker will be very helpful. I kind of wish this was the other army so that we could trade off some more of the Hellstorm batteries. Whatever, we'll be fine.
The nation calls. Make haste, men.
Alright, let's give him... I don't know if I actually do want to give him flagellants. We'll give him another couple units of crossbows. Free Company Militia are actually pretty good against orcs. What do we have? We have two militia. Let's go 2 militia, 2 crossbows, and handgunners. So bring them up to 14, and then we'll just give them a bunch of swordsmen. We don't really have a lot. Yeah, you know what? Given that the other option is swordsman, let's go ahead and give him some flagellants. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. We need to give him 2 more. He probably doesn't need another mortar for a quest battle. I'll just give him 2 more units of swords, I guess. Alright, next turn we'll go after the quest battle. We'll be fully healed by then.
Pick up the pace.
And Karl Franz can go back to Nuln and help try to keep the peace. We could really use that 300 gold. Once we have the gold, we'll be able to build the gunnery, or the cannon factory, whatever it's called, the siege workshop, so that we can start toward our siege tanks, which I very much want to get.
I will
But
hear your petition, but make no promises to act on it.
what do the Vanaheimlings want? They want to declare war on me. Do I want to call my allies to help? Yeah, let's do it. Your warriors range deep into hostile lands, but all is not well. Ah yes, once again, the army is fettered by Morslieb's glare. Well, I really, really, really don't want to pay to improve the omens. 1,500's kind of a lot of money. I guess it would be good to have +10 leadership on our forces, especially as we're about to fight a kind of an important quest battle. Yeah, alright, you know what? That's effectively lowering the money we get from the quest battle to make it more likely that we will succeed at it. Which is fine. So we don't really need to pick up the Barded Warhorse until level 16, so that we can have the Pegasus when it becomes available. So do I want to pick up physical resistance and health replenishment. Or like maybe lowered miscast chance so that we can overcast our damage spells a little bit more often. No, let's get regrowth. Seems good. Physical resistance is important. Alright. No, this one. Oh, we have to step out of the settlement first. I'm hoping that the teleport cost isn't too high. We may end up not really making any money on this. Yeah, we're not going to end up having netted much money. But if we can move the quest forward, we can potentially get money from the next step or whatever. Alright. Yeah, we'll definitely shred this army. It's the reinforcements I'm worried about. Well, let's do it. Alright, the magic resistance is on the greatswords, so that they're just super tough and good at everything. Greatswords are going to be valuable here. He's got a couple of units of well-armored orcs that we're going to have to deal with. We have wizard. We have two wizards. We have mortars, and we have this thing, the rocket battery. So we don't really have to close on them. They kind of have to come to us. We just have to get close enough to pound them with the artillery. The most important thing here is going to be making sure that their the boar cavalry can't get into the siege units. We have a unit of much better cavalry for fighting them, but we don't have any spears or anything. So we're going to have to resist their cavalry with pretty much just sheer mass. Put a lot of swords in front of them. Let them charge in, and then just mire them so they can't get back out. Not ideal, really. I probably should have brought some halberds. Unfortunately, there weren't any between the two armies, and I didn't really want to stop and recruit. Especially since we're not really making that much as it is, and I don't want to be paying a whole lot of extra upkeep.
We search for Gromril ore. These greenskins have it. Slaughter them and find it for me. And if the dwarfs should think we carry out vengeance for their kin, then let them. I'd rather make allies of the bearded ones than enemies. They hold grudges, and I have not the time or inclination for another enemy. There are greater, more pressing fates at work. Now, bring me the heads of the orcs, for I will have their skulls turned to gold, their eyes pierced with hot lead. They
Jesus.
will truly know searing doom.
You know, I was super with him through all that stuff about we don't have time for more enemies, and then he had to go to the piercing eyes with hot lead thing, and just, boy, my support is wavering. So we should take advantage of some of this high ground, right? Make the orcs have to come up and fight us in awkward ways to get to the siege weapons. So let's commit the siege weapons up here. There we go. That's how I want that. So we actually have range on the very front of their line right now. We can start on them right away. And then I can conceal some troops up in the trees too. So let's grab you guys and you guys. The gunpowder ranged units and the crossbow ranged units. I guess we'll just like get in the trees, near the edge of the trees. And I might actually want to... We can't start any of our units stealthed, but I'm wondering if I maybe want to start the knights up here and then move them into the trees quickly at the beginning of the battle, so the orcs have to be concerned about them. As long as we keep them moving slowly, they can move around in the trees without revealing themselves. And then if the orcs do end up overcommitting, although I guess it's pretty awkward to hit a force that's over here with a force that's from here. There's a lot of moving around to do. Yeah, we'll just run everybody else up into the trees, basically. Hey, everybody, come over here. Just kind of in a big ball. And we we got time to figure this out after the battle starts.
The Empire endures!
Okay. Yeah, we're going to use this very awkward formation. Alright, so the Outriders definitely need to get up into the trees. The Reichsguard should follow them. And with any luck, when the orcs come up to deal with us, they won't have much in the way of intelligence. They'll just run right toward us and we'll be able to collapse in on them. Because they can't actually see us right now. Then we'll just move our basic melee troops up a little bit. I think it would be okay for us to be in front of the siege units. Do I want to try to run the ranged into the trees? Because the thing is, if I move them into the trees, then as soon as they are revealed, a bunch of the orcs can turn on them. I probably want to keep them down here with the melee. Yeah, that seems relatively sensible.
Crossbows ready, General. To battle. Ready.
Move the crossbows up, move the gunners up.
We obey.
Okay. So obviously Gelt is our scout. The rocket batteries and the mortars have... Oh, the mortars have kind of a bad firing angle. They may not... Alright, let's... Can I just turn them without issuing specific fire orders? I guess I should issue specific orders. I'm just worried about them moving. I don't really want them to move around. So we should focus on the big uns, probably. Is there any other... There's another unit of big uns in here somewhere. We may not be able to see them right at this moment. Whatever. Just let the orcs have them. Let the orcs have it. And Gelt can stay right there until they get pretty close. I'm actually going to move the flagellants up into the trees, I think. It'll take everybody a while to move in correctly. Let's watch some artillery damage. My lord is under attack. Is he? Oh, he's been magicked. He'll be alright. I can't see his health bar. That's actually super annoying. Can that maybe go away? Okay. Your lord has been attacked, but under no circumstances will you be allowed to know what the results of that attack were. Yeah. So they're shooting magic at us. That's not great. I don't think that Gelt will be in a lot of danger once the battle proper starts, so I'm not really super worried about this. We're doing a lot of damage to them as they close. What is exploding over here? Who's shooting at these guys? Oh, the rocket battery is... we didn't give the rocket battery a lot of specific orders, so it's just kind of shooting at whatever. That's actually fine. These units are very annoying to deal with. Alright. So we're now close enough that we could start opening fire with our ranged. I've managed to put the... yeah, the silver bullets are in a position where they'll be able to sort of fire. Actually, the curvature of the... I forget. Bullets don't work like arrows. They have to have direct line of fire. The curvature of this hill might actually be a real problem. Alright, you guys need to close up. I'm still worried about open fire, or open lines of fire, but obviously I'm also concerned about our artillery units not getting charged. Alright, let's just launch into the nearby enemies, huh? Okay, please don't do that. I'm having trouble. Here, where's the, there we go. Please back up. As soon as we have an open line of fire, I'll have them turn around and start in again. I want to be able to shoot at these melee guys as they approach. Come on. There it is. And this is the time to start with the spells, I think. So, I'm going to use a not overcasted hounds. And where is my other wizard? I guess Gunter should move up. He's a fighter. We'll have him move up to the side here. Errol should probably move up to behind everybody. And I'm going to use Rickard carefully. I think he doesn't have a lot of levels. Move him up here. I'll try to run him around the side. I don't want him to be the front, a frontal engager. Like, we can have everybody else engage the units, then Rickard can run around behind somebody and engage from the back. Let's try the dwellers below again as well. Let's put it as far forward as we can. Give some time for all the other enemies to walk into it. Alright. And then, yeah, let's see how this works. Oh, some of them are slowing down and stopping and stuff. That's not great. Okay, greenskin raiders are pouring in from the passes, but that's not really an issue for us. They're coming in from this side of the map. Alright, these are the Reiksguard that are way up in the trees. It's not time for them to do anything yet. I'm a little disappointed at how quickly Dwellers Below went off. I kind of thought it might take longer. Alright, we don't have any of the skills yet that allow us to really buff up our Winds of Magic, so we're just going to have to wait for replenishment. Oh, Sittler's Reiksguard have been revealed. Unfortunate. Oh, now they're bringing in dudes from the edges here. Okay, good charge. Now disengage and charge these guys. Okay, we actually have to bring a unit or two of melee over here, I think. Actually, we do have the flagellants. If these guys can, if my cavalry can keep them engaged for long enough, let's try to get the skirmish mode going. It would be cool if our horses would back off without me having to manually tell them to do so.
What do you bid? Fire! Withdraw! Swordsman! Ready for war!
Alright, just stop his charge. That's all I really want. Oh, he's fast.
Yes!
Never mind, you'll never catch him.
We serve the Emperor! We are Sigmar elves!
Alright, the Hellstorm Battery is still doing fine work. We should probably retarget some of this stuff, though. Yeah, just kind of try to shoot into the middle of the enemies as best you can. These swordsmen have to move. They're blocking everything. Alright, we're back up to 10. What is Dwellers Below cost? Because it actually seemed to be very effective. Oh, 17. Yeah, okay. It is clearly balanced as a thing that is very effective. What do I want to do over here? Our cavalry should beat their cavalry very handily, but our cavalry is also outnumbered. Maybe this is a good place for a quick Earthblood. And then just him casting will also cause some healing to happen.
Crossbowman!
Actually, if our crossbows could fire into their ranged, they'll give up very easily. The cowardice is very strong with them. No. Over here. Yeah, see, if you target a unit, sometimes your men will fixate on figures that are in weird places in the unit once the unit's divided a little bit. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of answers to these guys over here hitting us in the back. I mean, I guess we can wheel the melee troops around from in front over here, because they've sort of engaged all of their melee up the hill. Yeah, we're getting hit in the back. They have too much cavalry. We were not ready. We might be able to get these guys in behind. They've engaged with the Free Company militia, at least, which are reasonably good melee fighters. If they hit the silver bullets, things would be going a lot worse for us. In fact, I think I'm going to have the silver bullets back up and fire into the back of these guys. Rickard can do that too. Yeah, you know what? I'm not that worried about melee here. Not anymore. Ooh, that is an Arachnarok spider. That is a thing we need to be concerned about. Alright, we should handle them pretty well in melee. Yeah, even the ones that aren't necessarily terribly damaged are losing morale quickly. And we seem to have done some pretty good damage to the boar boys. Let's turn around. Engage over here. The silver bullets maybe need to move up the hill a little bit. I don't want to expose them to a flank from these guys, actually. Let's have our heroes run this way. Can engage with some of these slightly damaged orc forces. My Free Company militia actually can probably just kill these goblins in melee. Goblins are remarkably bad fighters, like crazy. It's crazy how bad they are. I think our ranged units need to start in on the Arachnarok. It's not really that hard to kill a monstrous unit if you can just train a bunch of ranged fire on it. It's when they're in melee that you really have to watch out. You guys mostly have your targets. This will be over in a second. In fact, let's go ahead and recommit these guys to these other orc boys. The Reiksguard are winning their fight, but they're about to get hit by spear infantry. And it's just goblins, but it's still spear infantry. Who else is in here? Groups of flagellants. Okay. Reiksguard are shock cavalry. So really, what I should be doing is pulling them out and committing charges over and over again instead of having them stand and fight. They're not that kind of unit. Okay. Let's get back in. These boar boys have Ah! You fools, you fell for my clever trap. These guys are trying to charge us, which seems like a dubious plan. And now this is happening. So what do we have? I don't think we really have a lot of options as far as... can I overcast this? No, I don't have any. We're gonna need some fighting power here. Maybe I should just Earthblood. My units aren't really that damaged yet. Some of them are. By Earthblood right here, we'll hit a number of damaged units. Yeah, I really just need, like, all projectiles in. We can kill this thing. That's going to cost us some men, though. Alright, tie up its legs, and let's do it. Okay, we've already engaged. Most of these men are in, but you can see for some reason the flag is where there's, like, one injured guy over here. Looks like he is maybe currently flying back from being struck. While the whole unit's over here. It's a strange system. The flagellants are dying. But they won't run. They'll stay in. And they're doing pretty good damage to that lord. Okay. You can see it's starting to take some ranged fire already. It's surrounded. It's being hit from a lot of sides. And For a monster, it has really bad... Oh, sorry. I meant to select these guys. For a monster, it has really bad leadership. Monsters don't always have great leadership to begin with. Would you fight them, please? They clearly are very interested in being fought. Get him, Errol! Yeah, the Ragnarok is fleeing. Gelt's not the greatest fighter, but I trust him to take out their wizard. I think he can fight goblin units and stuff. His armor's pretty high. It's like most of them are in open retreat. I think the battle's about to... Oh, you know what? We have to deal with this. So we have 8 winds of magic now. Let's do... Well, we're one off. Let's wait for hounds. I haven't been using my items at all, man. So what do I want to do with these guys? Let's bring you around to here. We don't need to focus in on the Ragnarok anymore. Let's try to get rid of some of these cavalry units. We're definitely having a hard time because of these, because of just the sheer amount of cavalry they were able to bring. They brought like a full army of cavalry in addition to all of their other troops. But I think this is basically over. So let's, I don't know that we're actually going to be able to do this, but it would be cool if we could fire up the hill into this big mass of enemy units. And as soon as we hit 9 winds of magic... In fact, let's try to disengage him and get him back in the air. I want to get him over here and start using his items. Oh, I don't think I quite caught the spider in the edge of it. Ooh, that's their lord. Do we have... Where are my greatswords? You know what? These swordsmen can probably handle it. I think the greatswords... Well... Orcs have a lot of leadership problems. If we can kill their lord... That's gonna make them rout pretty quickly, I think. There's a little blood in your beard, old man. You'll be alright. Let's refocus the archers and stuff on the Ragnarok. It's come back for a second round. It won't survive this. Ooh, wow. Okay, Rickard Seidau was aggressively disengaged by the Ragnarok spider. That's alright. He can come down here and flank these goblins. He'll probably be able to deal with them. Yeah, look, we are absolutely gutting that thing with the ranged fire. It's going to try to retreat, but I think it's injured too badly. I don't think it'll get away even. Alright, if we can finish off their lord, who is riding a big boar and is actually an incredibly good fighter. We got great swords on him. They should be able to handle it.
Ready for war for the Emperor! Yes, sir!
Alright, we're handling this.
Yes, sir!
Got some free company militia that are having a little bit of trouble. Our wizard is actually murdering those goblins in close combat. That's what wizards are for.
Acceptable.
Oh good, I'm so glad that you accept the conditions. Stay strong. Alright. Time for some solid wizard versus wizard action here. We're stuck on this damn spider rider. Get him. Don't let him escape. There we go. Now we're moving at full speed. Hey, hey, Gelt, where are you going? You need to get up some vertical momentum for that charge, I guess. Well, not totally ideal, and it really reinforces that we do not have what it takes to fight those vampires. That said, a bunch of rocket batteries probably are a good start. So we lost both of the units of flagellants. That's going to tend to happen. Flagellants are a little bit like undead in that they, because they can't run, they will tend to die a lot. Even units of yours that get defeated in battle, like these swordsmen and stuff, they turned and ran when their health got low, and so they were at least able to come through to the end. Flagellants didn't get a lot of kills between the two units, but they did actually do a lot of work in holding a lot of that cavalry in place for a very long time. Boy, there sure were a lot of spider gobs. So we spent, what? We spent 1,500 on the event and 500 on the teleport. So we're actually only ending up 1,000 gold up from where we started the turn. It's not really enough. It might be enough to start work on the siege weapon factory, but it's definitely not enough to get us anywhere near hiring a wizard, which unfortunately is going to be a bit of a bottleneck for us on that one quest. I didn't actually have a look at the legendary items because you can see what they are from the Lord skill page. We probably should figure out which items are actually worth all this trouble right now and which ones can wait until later. Also, I have no idea what is taking it so long to load. It should definitely not still be in the first segment. Okay, apparently whatever it was doing right here is very, very difficult. Now it's gotten going at least a little bit. So, what did we learn strategically? That's an important question. Basically, what we already know is that I'm just not great at the strategy portion of the game. Part of it is I don't have the APM, man. Not anymore, listen. I was better once upon a time, back in the StarCraft 1 days. Although I suppose, depending on where you live, it may still be the StarCraft 1 days. But I don't think our ranged units really got the kills that I was looking for. 13 kills from this group of crossbows. This one did okay. I really should have set them up differently. Maybe I should have had more ranged units hide in the trees and tried to fight the battle a little bit more down in the pass. And had the ranged units reveal themselves from the trees once battle was joined in the pass and fire down into the combat from the cliffs. But while that would have been a pretty reasonable strategy to apply from the beginning, knowing what we know now, with the huge masses of cavalry showing up from the edges of the map, that definitely would have gotten all of our ranged units killed. And stuff like that has a domino effect, you know? You lose some guys, and then the morale lost to your other forces from those guys disappearing cause you to lose more guys because they don't fight as well when their leadership is low, and then things just spiral. I really don't want to get caught pardoning orcs, especially with so many dwarves now critical to my defense. As much as I would like the money. Okay, cool. And we've gotten 3,000 money, and now we have to move Balthazar Gelt to Altdorf. Get 1,500 more money, that's easy enough. We were going for big replenishment rate with the warrior priest, right? Yeah. Yeah, that seems like a good way to go. I'm pretty sure that's what the plan was.
Pick up the pace.
So move him into Altdorf. Seems that the process of transmutation is dangerously unpredictable. Gelt's experiments triggered an explosion, which he barely survived. He is a veteran of such occurrences. However, his first-hand experience of the forces involved gives him an insight into an artifact that may reduce the risk. So we have to move a character to Weismund. Well, we can just send one of the heroes out to do that. Get a little bit more money. His researches lead him to the location of an ill-omened cave, shunned by any unfortunate enough to live in its vicinity. He dispatches a scout to reconnoiter the route while he recovers from his injuries. Yeah, okay. Can we...
Sing battle hymns! On march!
Where's the line between Karlberg and... I don't know. Whatever. We'll get it next turn. And that's put us on quite a bit more money. Still not enough to start the Colleges of Magic, but closer. If we had the Castellan Engineer here, we'd be able to do it next turn. And also next turn, the Confederation penalty comes off and we can pursue more diplomatic relations with Nordland. I think I'm going to wait. I think I'm going to wait for being able to build the wizard building. Because first of all, I want to move that quest along, but secondly, we do want to get wizards. Although actually, I don't think it's going to let us get another wizard because we'll be at 1 of 1 then. We can hire another Empire Captain. We can hire another Warrior Priest. I don't think I want to right now. Let's keep the money flowing in for the moment.
Summon the Elector Counts.
So the Castellan Engineer is actually pretty far away. It's the only thing keeping Everheim together. Yeah, we probably shouldn't move him. But what we should do is get our Vampire Murderer and have him murder a vampire. Okay, this one's not on guard.
Judgment is death.
Really? Man, dude cannot catch a break. Okay, I think everybody's roughly where they need to be. And if the vampires don't burn Wartbad this turn, we might be able to convince Stirland to join us. Let's see how things go with Nordland first. We'll do a little bit of negotiation up there.
Thy Sigma's will come in peace.
So they're at 20 right now. They'll increase toward 45. I'm not sure what the rate of increase on those things is. I'm also trying to make sure that we have
Greetings.
trade routes
May not
anywhere
be
we
the
can.
Empire, but our realm has riches and strength in equal measure.
Is there any chance I could get a payment from you as well? I don't know, maybe like this? I would like to counter your counter-offer with a non-aggression pact and military access and a small payment? Okay, cool. Alright, so that's another couple hundred gold of income. And it lets us start up construction of the Conclave.
I am ready. Are you?
Oh, this will let us hire more battle wizards as well. Okay, yeah, this is important. And when he hires his wizards, they'll be at a little bit higher level because he's the Supreme Patriarch as well. Alright, so we need to give Nordland some time to adjust to the fact that we're no longer penalized. Out of curiosity, though.
Approach and make your offer.
Nope, they wouldn't confederate
No
anyway.
promises to my assent.
The righteous hammer of Sigma.
Man, I'm very worried about all these vampires. At least they're not making progress the way a human player would. We'd be in a lot of trouble then.
Men forward.
Okay. Seems the transmutation process... Okay, this is... his first-hand experiences give him an insight into the artifact. Okay. So this time we will actually get the... Ooh, we gotta fight undead. And of course, reinforcements are expected, because reinforcements are always expected. But here we will get a cloak that's not even very good, honestly. We'll also get 1500 experience on Gelt. What is that? actually mean in terms of levels. Well, it's almost another level for him, actually.
The Empire. Onwards.
Alright, we'll bring back Gunter. Oh, our army's nowhere near recovered. Should I even get the Hammer of the Witches? It's anti-large. This army doesn't have a lot of monsters or anything in it. It does have quite a bit of cavalry. Obviously, the cannons are pretty strong against cavalry when they can get hits. So then to recruit a battle wizard, and we're working on it. I don't think so. But we should try to get some halberds. So let's see here. We didn't lose any range, really. Yeah, I'll get 2 units of halberds, and we'll get our guy back, and that'll be our 20 for that quest battle. I think it should be okay. Unfortunately, now we're just going to be doing some waiting. A defensive alliance with Clan Angrund. They're at war with the Crooked Moon mutinous Gits. They're trading with the Border Princes, so that's... Yeah, you know what? Yes, the Forces of Order. We're gonna need these vampire accounts to think that we are a danger. God, look at all the chaos corruption. Or the vampire corruption, rather. We gotta get dealing with this. Oh, Marius Leitdorf is ready for duty again. Listen, you keep sitting, you're doing fine behind that desk, buddy.
The nation calls.
So the corruption has a lot of effects. It lowers our public order. Although we have no corruption here. But like in Averheim, we are down 11 public order from corruption. And it's gaining. The problem is that Averheim and Grenstadt are in the same region. And Grenstadt is probably hosting an army. It was last time we saw it. They gave up on Wertbad. I wonder why. Well, it's good news for us. Think you can take one of these guys? Really? Man. Who's judged now? This guy does not know what he is doing. Okay, so in 3 turns, once we have the Conclave of Battle Wizards, we'll be able to recruit a Battle Wizard and move that other quest forward.
Is it time? Sigmar heals us.
Yeah, we probably have to wait 2 more turns before we can think about pursuing the next quest battle. Okay, well, I think this is where we're going to call it for today. I should not have people just sitting in March mode, because when they're just sitting around in March mode, I accidentally move them in March mode, and then I can't get them to do other things. How are we coming along in... Okay.
Approach us, friend, and make your...
Approval with them is increasing very rapidly. I think let's do one more turn real quick and see if we can get that quest moved along as well. God, we're gonna have to keep an army in Averheim forever. I mean, basically until we deal with the vampire threat, because the corruption is going to lead to public order issues that cannot really be dealt with any other way. Also, these guys hate us, probably in large part because I have just been non-stop hero harassing them. Well, can you get Kemmler, do you think? Like, just do something. Get somebody.
Show me the accused.
Alright, we wounded Kemmler. Ooh, plus 30 growth and plus 1 public order in his province. That's pretty cool. Alright, so now that we have that done, what do we want to do? We could improve his block army action. Block army is very powerful. There are a lot of times where enemies are going to be able to just barely get away from you, or they're going to be able to maneuver around your armies, and block army cutting the movement of the army basically in half really, really helps. Actually, damage walls is also super good. Yeah, this guy's definitely going to be devoted to map actions. Okay, how are things going with Nordland now? We're up to 28.
Come then. Only Sigma's god, Ulrich, can judge it worthy or no.
Can I hustle this along, maybe? What if I gave you 2,000 gold? No, okay, he's not going to do that. Well, crap, man. I don't know what this dude wants. Oh, we should probably do this. There's no reason for Eilhart not to be maxed out. And then once we've done that, we can upgrade the Tailor's Guild. And although, that was 3,000 gold. Yeah, you know, we have too many big important buildings to build. Alright, well I think that is... Nope, never mind. We're going to level this dude up, and then that's going to be it. Okay, Zintler is at least a decent fighter. Do we have any other pressing business? No? Are we actually good? Okay. Alright, that's going to be it for us for today. We've got to figure out a way of making... what's his face? I'm making Toadbringer like us. I think that's going to be the focus of next episode, is figuring out what to do with Toadbringer. The vampires seem to have backed off. I'm not sure exactly what provoked that. They might be facing threats from the east. Carrick Cadron might be messing with them or something. But let's figure out what to do about Toadbringer. That's going to be the focus of tomorrow's episode. So come back for thrilling diplomatic actions. And we'll see you then.